What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday evening. Thanks for joining in for the Utinni Designs Workshop. Hope you're all having a good week. It's been a pretty good week here. Been pretty busy working on some 3D prints, some laser engravings, and other cool things. So wanted to get with y'all and show you some stuff and hopefully entertain you for a little bit on your Saturday night. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. I got the 3D printer going here. As you can see, it is doing a Big Blocks Stormtrooper. That is the helmet that is being printed right now. So still have quite a few more pieces to print, but as you can see, there's about an hour and 28 minutes left on this helmet. Right after that gets done printing, I will more than likely print another helmet and just do it back to back, and then I'll move on to the torso and the legs and so on and so forth. So hopefully y'all get to see at least some of that taking place. The next thing we got is a new shirt. So let me back up here so you can see the shirt. Jawa Pawn and Salvage. We buy junk. You lost something, we'll find it and sell it back to you. So that is available on the Utinni Design merch and swag store, and I will leave that in the comments. So you can go pick up your merch and swag that is designed by me and help support me and this channel. And your support is much appreciated. We also have Rogue 5 Cantina tomorrow night. So let me make sure we get that up here in the chat. Be sure to tune into those guys tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's a great show, lots of fun, and good group of people. So whether you like Star Wars or, they also show works in progress. So people like myself that are making things, it's a great way to learn a little bit and see what everybody else is doing out there in the community. As well as support, the Star Wars habit, which apparently I love. So be sure to check them out. Let's see here. We want to hide that. And let's get on to, let me switch cameras here. So we're going to do a little camera switching this evening. So here are some prints that I did this week. So this is a woolly mammoth skeleton. It's part of a Patreon file that I am signed up for, and it is a flexi, so it does move and flex around and whatnot. You can position in, you can flatten him out. So those are pretty cool. I like those little flexies and everything. So pretty neat little print. It takes roughly about 5-6 hours, I think, to print this. And I didn't add any color because, well, it's a skeleton, and skeletons normally don't have any color in them. So that is one little guy. The next little guy is this little dinosaur here. I'm sure he has a name, but I do not know it. His mouth will open. Let me get his leg kind of repositioned here. His little tail flexes, his mouth opens. There we go. So you can open and close his mouth. You can obviously flatten him out as well. So just a neat little 3D print. Again, from the same guy as the woolly mammoth was. So it's pretty neat. And of course, I can make these and sell these because I am a Patreon member of the artist. So if you have any kids or you're a big fan of dinosaurs, let me know and I'll see what I got. And I can print you one up. So the next thing we got on the list that we worked on this week is this guy. Those Star Wars fans know who this guy is. This is the Rancor, and this is modeled somewhat after the Kenner figure. It does have some articulation, so the arms and hands move. So like here and here. So it does have some articulation. The legs move as well. So that's pretty neat. And then, of course, the mouth will open and close. Let me see if I can get him. So that was a pretty neat print. This has some multicolor in it, like we designed in the last stream and colored. And I used those same techniques that I showed you in the last stream to color his fingernails and feet and eyes and teeth, because they did not come like that. And then I was able to multicolor print the different pieces and put them in. Now the mouth, as you can see where this articulating jaw is, that is a separate piece. So you printed this bottom jaw here with the teeth, and then you printed all this area here. And then you can see where the seam is. That all printed the tail, the two legs with the multicolor feet, the two hands with the multicolor claws, and then the two arms, and then it snaps together. Looks like he's kind of flipping you off right there, but just now noticed that. But it's pretty neat. I need to tighten up this arm a little bit because, as you can see, it's kind of floppy. So what I'll do is I'll take the arm off because, again, it's just snapped into place. It's not glued. And I'll wrap some little tape, a little bit of Scotch tape and or electrical tape around that joint, and just kind of get a little bit tighter because it should be tight like this arm here. You can see where this arm's just a little bit tighter, and I'll probably tighten this one up a little bit as well. So that was another really cool print, and turned out pretty good. I was pretty happy with it. So the other prints I did this week, since I was doing the dinosaur and woolly mammoth, I did little keychains. These again are by the same Patreon, and they're just little interactive fidget keychains. There's a little T-Rex, and then I also have a Triceratops as well. The Triceratops mouth does not open. It's just the head and part of the spine, the backbone, where the T-Rex mouth does articulate. So those turned out pretty good. See if I can get my camera to focus on the details here. Yeah, I get a piece of paper. So there you can see some of the details in the print. So that turned out pretty good. always like little keychains and stuff. They make great gifts. They're real easy to sell. So what is up? Let's see. We got some people in here. Hang on just a second. What is up, Jeff? Hope you're doing well, buddy. What's going on, Gap? So we're getting ready to get into the workshop here in a minute. I'm just showing some 3D prints and stuff that I've done this week. Of course, you can always pick up these great things. Thanks for the inspiration, Jeff. These are little collector's display plaques. So you can get them with whatever interior color you want. You can get them with whatever color of text you want here, and then whatever text you want down there. And I do have a little 3D printed stand. It just snaps on and it holds it straight up. So you can pick those up at utinnidesigns.com. Let me post that here in the chat. So be sure to go and pick those up. And I can make custom ones as well. So if you don't see one that you want, let me know. I can custom make them. So let's hide that. Let's go back to the comments. We're going to add this. As you can see, I'm printing right now currently. And this is a Big Bricks Stormtrooper, very similar to the other Big Brick style characters that you've seen me do, like this little guy here. So that is what is on the printer currently, except it's a Stormtrooper. So yeah, thank you, Gap. Absolutely, Jeff. Just let me know, buddy. The large format vintage FET is all printed, still in pieces. I haven't gotten around to sanding him yet. I'm hoping that eventually I'll get there and get started on him. I got to sand him down a little bit, and I got to primer him, and then comes the hard part of the paint. So I am still working on him. He's just a slow work in progress because I have other things going on. So, those are pretty neat little prints. And of course, I have Deadpool and Iron Man and all these other ones. The other things I've been working on is some slate coasters. So this is what's called a deep engrave or a deep emboss slate coaster. So as you can see, it does have deep engraving in it. And I can design anything you want to be deep engraved and or just engraved. So there's a little shameless plug for Rex at Millennium Workshop. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep him or if he's going to be up for sale. Originally, he was going to be up for sale. The Star Wars store owner, which is the largest vintage Star Wars store in North Carolina, is about 60 miles away. And I talked to him about it. And originally he was wanting a 6-foot version, but that was going to be an immense amount of time and filament. And you literally had to weld pieces together because there's no printer out there that will print a 6-foot tall figure. So I decided to do a 3.5, 4-foot tall version. and said, let me get into it, see what it's going to take. And if you still want the 6-foot version afterwards, then, you know, we can work something out. If not, I can sell you the 4-foot version, or, you know, I'll do something with it. I don't foresee myself keeping him, since I can always make another one for myself, and I have to get rid of some stuff because I have some other stuff coming that I need to make room for. So hopefully I can at least get him somewhat finished and primed up, and get him on the right track, other than just letting him sit on the floor in pieces. So this particular coaster is a slate coaster, and then I sanded it down and put some polyurethane on it, and then I used a light version of the laser to make it kind of a goldish color. So if you compare that to this one where it's gray, you can see how the laser can do some color changes. Not a lot, but you can get some color changes out of certain materials. So you can kind of see how the laser can do that, you know, just on slate. And those are about the only 2 colors you're going to get on slate. You can get a little bit whiter than this, but I thought the kind of the gunmetal gray was kind of the way that I wanted to go with this particular one. I just did these as tests, and I thought they turned out pretty good. So yeah, absolutely. I'll let you know, Jeff, once I get that decided. So what we're going to be working on tonight is a couple things. Obviously, you see the print still going, but we're also going to, let me switch my cameras here again. We're also going to be doing some other stuff, which is going to be pretty cool, hopefully. So let me pull this up and make sure that you guys can see it. So we are going to share this screen here. So that is a live view of my laser. So I have to go wake it up, and we're going to be lasering a prototype Christmas ornament. And I've already done some of the work just so this stream isn't 5 hours long. And we're also going to be lasering something else that I'll show you right after we get done with this. But I will give you a little hint. Let me switch my cameras here again. We are going to be lasering a pocket knife. So we're going to be lasering the blade and the handle with a couple of logos. They will be white lasered, engraved on both sides of this knife, with some logos along the handle. So we got 2 of those to do. So that'll be cool. And we will get that going here just shortly. So I'm going to keep this up. So hopefully you'll be able to see this laser take place. And I'm going to switch mics here. So let me know if you can still hear me right now. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. If you can, please let me know, because I just switched mics. Okay, perfect. I wasn't quite sure if that was going to work or not. So excellent. So let me get a drink here real quick, and then I'll go into the other room where my laser is, and we will get started on this. Now, this particular first project that we're doing with the laser is going to engrave, score, and cut. And it is going to be on wood, so hopefully we don't have any fires. So let me blow this up so it's full screen, and I will be in the other room, and then you will see the laser go, and I'll kind of give you a play-by-play of it. So I'm going to come in here and wake the laser up. Now you should see the light come on, and you should see that I already have it pre-set up, pre-focused. I do have my external fan going, so hopefully that will help with any smoke and fire and flame. I'm going to crank that up just a little bit. All right. I already have this kind of pre-set up, so I'm going to start it. And I need to close the door because my dog does not have protective glasses, and he will not be able to view the laser without hurting his eyes. So here we go. This is going to engrave, score, and then cut out of shape. This is 3mm basswood that I have pre-painted with a red acrylic paint. So here we go. There it's scoring. That's not cutting through, it's just scoring. As you can see, it goes pretty quick. After it gets done scoring, now it'll start to cut. You'll see the flame there. That's fairly normal. As long as the flame doesn't stay long, it will be fine. You can see the air that I have running through here kind of blow that flame out a little bit. There it's staying on a little bit longer than I would like, but that's mainly because of the paint and the wood that it's cutting through. Okay, so if all worked well, I can lift this up, lift this up, you can see it cut it out, and there we got a little truck. So now we'll get the other truck in here. Let me pull these pieces out so I don't reburn them. Bear with me for a second here. Because if I leave those pieces in there and the laser hits it, it could start a fire underneath what is cutting. So that was the red truck. Now we're going to do the green truck. Let me close this. We are going to refocus the laser. And then once the laser is refocused, it will automatically refresh my screen on this computer, which unfortunately I don't have a way for you to see that process. So we're going to refresh it. We're going to frame it. And I can already tell that that's off a little bit. So I'm going to grab it. And I'm just moving the graphic at this point. And then we will frame it. And what this does is, even though this has a camera in it, the machine, when I frame it, you can see how it outlines where this is going to cut. So I can view that with the naked eye and see how how my lining up is. And I think I'm just going to leave it there. Maybe just move it just a tick this way. I'm going to put the protective shield back down because that helps with the airflow of my fan. Put it down just a little bit further. All right. So now we're going to set this up. We're going to stop framing it. We're going to process the exact same thing. And here we go. So just like before, it's going to engrave first, then it's going to score. And what scoring does is it just puts a line in the wood. It's not actually cutting the wood. It's just burning the wood just slightly. So you can have like inlines or panel lines if you're referring to like a Star Wars ship. So it's scoring right now. Now it's going to start the cut. You can see it cut out the windows. And we're actually getting a lot more flame with the green paint, which is interesting. But as you can see, the fan helps control some of that. So we're not catching wood on fire technically, even though there is a pretty decent flame there. But it doesn't look like it's scorching the paint. So that's nice because the paint helps protect that from scorching. And this is the first time I've done this project. So the beep means we're done. So we'll see if this cut all the way through. It did. Perfect. That's what we want. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So again, we'll dump this wood off here. Make sure it's not hot, which it's not. And then we will get ready for our next project, which we will not be cutting, but instead we will be doing the knife. So let me get this set up. And we want to do the blade first. So I'm just going to set that up like so. We're going to lower the protective shield. And I'm going to go over here and open up my first knife project. And I really wish I could show you guys how this kind of works. And I'll have to figure out a different way of doing it because my streaming computer is a different computer. So I can't see your comments. Maybe I can. Let me open up YouTube on this computer. And then that way I can at least see what you guys are saying. YouTube on this computer. So, hey, you Ken. Hope you're doing well. So what I'm getting ready to do now is to laser engrave this knife. And so what I'm doing is setting this up. Just so I can kind of get it started here. And like I said, you won't be able to see what I'm actually doing on the computer, unfortunately. But you will see what the laser will do when I start the engraving process. Bear with me just a second here while I get this lined up and going. There's several steps to doing this. You have to frame it and make sure that it's in the right area, because sometimes even the camera is off. I got to make sure my little characters are not on the output, because you can have several graphics on there and then you can do the framing and it will show you where the letters are going. So it looks like I need to make that smaller. So we're going to stop framing. We're going to make this a little bit smaller. About like so. And then we'll frame it again. And then each time you frame it, you have to walk over to the laser and look and see what it's doing. So I'm going to make that just a little bit smaller, because I don't want to go too far off of the edge of that knife. I'm just going to frame this again. That looks better. Now let's make sure I got it straight. That looks pretty good. So now I'm going to close this. I'm going to refocus it one more time. Now, obviously, you don't have to, but I like to, because the old saying of, you know, cut once, measure twice, cut once. So make sure my settings are correct. We'll go to process. Now, what you will see, this is a fiber laser. This particular machine has two lasers in it. So the first one we used was a diode or blue light laser to cut and score and engrave the wood. Now we're going to use a fiber laser, which is designed for metal. So this is ready to go. I'm going to put my protective glasses on since the shield is up a little bit. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and raise this shield for you guys. Since I have my glasses on, it doesn't really matter. And here we go. All right. So now we're going to move this over here a little bit more so we can do the other parts. And once this is all done, I will show you what it did. So I'm going to remeasure it. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. And we're going to move this out of the way and move this down here. And I know I'm kind of talking to myself because you can't see what I'm doing really. But hopefully it will make sense once I have this going. All right, let me frame this out. That looks good. We'll probably come down just a hair on the one piece and over just a hair on the other piece. So I want to come down and over, down. Stop framing, reframe it. Hopefully you guys can still see what's going on. All right, that looks better. So we're going to refocus it one more time. You guys can see the video, correct? Somebody type in the chat and let me know that you can see in the video. All right, cool. Now, for some reason, something just majorly shifted. So let me frame this again. Yep, something definitely shifted. Not sure why. So let me just adjust this just a little bit more. And let me frame it again. Nope, see, I need to move that one up. That one over just a hair. All right, now let's see where it's. These take a little bit longer to line up. All right, those look good. So now we're going to process it. But we have an issue on one of these. So let me see what that issue is. Bear with me for a second here. It might be too small. So let me drop this to 200. Make sure this is going to work before I laser this. I think what I'm going to do instead of this, I'm going to take this guy out. And we're going to make this guy larger here. So a little bit of adjustment, last minute design change. But we're getting ready to process it. Let me put on my protective goggles. And here it comes. Now, since that other piece was too small, and I'll show you what this is here. Hopefully you can see it. Let me pull off my protectives. So Toronto Maple Leaves, and then we got the logo. Where's my camera? Engraved in the handle. So now on this side, we're going to do the same thing. And get this somewhat straight here. So I'm going to remeasure it. Then it's going to refresh my camera. And we're going to put that leaf in roughly the same position. We're going to frame it. Make sure it's looking good, which it does. We're going to process it. So that one's done. Now we will do this side of the blade and get this in here somewhat straight. And every time you move the object, you have to refocus the laser because obviously it's different distance depending on the thickness. And what that's doing is the laser is moving up and down on the Z-axis to focus the laser as best it can to the material. So now when I refresh it, it shows me a picture on my computer screen And I think I'm going to change up my design just a little bit. I'm not sure if this is going to be a good idea or a bad idea, but we will see. Actually, I'm not going to do that. So cancel that. Because this is for a client. So I'm going to keep it simple. Simple but effective. All right. I'm happy with that. And here we go again. Done. So now I will take this out, take a rag, wipe that off. So now you can see the engraved knife. So that's one knife down. Now let me go get my other one, and we will do the next one. Now this next one is a little bit different, and I do apologize that I can't see the chat while I'm doing this, but hopefully you guys are still watching and still interested. It's the problem with having your streaming computer in one area of the house and your laser in another area of the house. And unfortunately, there's no way to show my screen on what the laser design is. So I do apologize. All right, knife number 2. So you can tell that it does it pretty darn quick. And I'm only doing 2 passes on this because I do not want it super deep. Because I don't want it to rust. There is a protective coating on these knives, and that's what it's burning. And so what I'm trying to do is go just deep enough to where it does what I want, but does not oh, what's a good word for it? Does not hurt the, it's not going to hurt the metal, but it doesn't get it to the point to where it could possibly rust down the road, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do on this next one, sorry about my dog barking. So I'm just getting this next one kind of lined up here. And getting it ready to laser engrave. So bear with me. And I'm still learning this, so it does take just a little bit, but I think I'm going to focus this one more time before I burn this. Let me close this lid so it'll focus better. All right, focusing one more time, refreshing my screen, making sure we have the graphics we want to output so we don't accidentally burn something we don't want to burn. Now we're framing it to make sure we got the framing right. And what's nice about this particular laser is not only will it frame a box, but it will also basically draw out the graphic. So I can tell on the one graphic I need to go up and over, and on the other graphic looks like I need to go up slightly. So I'm going to go up and over, stop framing it, reframe it. That looks better. Yeah, all right. Going to lower the protective shield, and we are going to send this job. Now this is going to use two different processes. So we are going to hit it. All right. Now for the next part, I'm going to put a logo right there, I think. So we're going to click off of these. We don't need them. I'm going to click this one on. And then, hey Rex, sorry buddy, just I'm in a different room with my laser, so I can't see the text as well. But we already did the wood, so there's no chance of fire now. So as soon as I get this one complete, I will go back in the other room with the camera and everything, and show everybody the results of what we've done. So let me take another measurement of this, get this aligned and framed, and then we will laser it, and then we will do the other side, and then we will be done with the lasering. So this is way too big of a graphic. And unfortunately, like I said, I can't show you what I'm doing, unfortunately, on the screen. And that's because I have several different computers in different parts of the house. And the one where my laser is, I don't have my my cameras. So I'm using my iPad to show that. But hopefully you will be able to see what I'm trying to accomplish here. So that looks good. So I'm going to lower this protective shield down. I'm going to stop framing it, go to process, and start it. And fire in the hole. All right, let me wipe this off. We'll flip it over. And we'll do the other side. So, just like before, get some of this oil off of the blade here. So just like before, we're going to laser it on the blade, as well as the handle. And on this one, I'm going to try to do it all in one shot. So let me lower that down. And this will be the last side that we do. So right now it's taking measurements. And then I'm going to refresh my camera so I can see what's happening here. We're going to take this one and we're going to put it right here. Actually, I'm going to put this back here. I'm going to make it just slightly different. That's the cool thing, is all these are custom. So now we're going to frame it and see how I did lining it up. Looks pretty good there. And looks like I need to possibly put that logo in a different position. So we're going to stop framing it. We're going to move this logo to here. We're going to move that to there. Frame it. And again, I apologize for not being able to show you how I'm moving stuff and designing it. I'm going to come down just a little bit on this, and then we're going to call it good. Process it. All right, here we go with the final burn. We're going to do this all in one shot on this side. 2 logos and letters. Protective shield is down. Here we go. I'm doing 2 passes on each graphic. And we are good. Take this out, wipe it off. All right. So I will see you in the other room. All right. I'm getting this other room here. And we'll get back on the big mic. So hopefully you can hear me a little bit better. Can you all still hear me? Let me close this down here. Exit full screen. Okay, great. I wasn't exactly sure how this mic stuff would work, switching back and forth. It's my first time doing it, but thankfully it worked. So here's what we're going to do. We can take off the laser screen. We can remove that. Ooh, here I am big. All right, now we're going to stop the share screen. We're going to go to the other camera. So move these coasters out of the way. So the first one we did is this one. See if I can get this camera to focus. Toronto Maple Leaves. And on the blade, we have Toronto Maple Leaves. And on the back side, we have the leaf and the blade. Unfortunately, the mascot that I was going to put on here was not going to work at the size that I was going to burn it in. So a little bit simpler design, but still nice. The second design is New York Yankees. So you got the text on the blade, you got the logo, and then you have the old style logo. Same with this side. See if I can get this camera to focus. Come on, camera. There we go. And then you have New York Yankees on the blade. So 2 knives. Two custom knives done. Turned out pretty good. I'm very happy with them. And hopefully the guy that custom ordered them will be too. So we got the knives. Now let's move on to the project that, as Rex said, we almost caught fire. So let me close down this. And let me go grab those pieces. And I will show you what we're going to do with it. So bear with me for just a moment. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to go grab the pieces. I forgot to bring them in. So these were the pieces that we laser engraved and cut and scored. Come on, camera. Let me get a piece of paper here. Maybe that will help. So, as I stated earlier, I had this pre-painted, and this is just red acrylic paint. And then I set up the laser to engrave. So it engraved this bumper here, and then it is to ride with the paw print, as well as the mirrors up here. And then it also scored. So all these little panel lines was scored, and then it cut the truck out, the shape of the truck out of the wood. And you may be able to see it a little bit better on the green, maybe. If I can get the camera to focus. So what we're going to do with this is, I already had these cut out, as well as this one. And this one is going to sit on top. And this is going to sit on top. And I'm going to glue those pieces together. Then I'm going to glue in wheels. And I'm just going to drop these in right now. So please don't worry about the placement because there's no glue yet. Just giving you an idea of what it's going to look like. And then we have fenders. So all these are cut out of 3mm basswood. And then painted. So as you can see, it's layering it. Get these somewhat even here. Come on. So what'll happen is this is an ornament. And what you do is you cut out another little piece, and this is a little French bulldog for my Frenchie. And you slide this down inside the bed of the truck, and it looks like the dog is riding in the truck. And this is an ornament. So you hang it from your little ornament thing, and you glue these pieces together. And I can make these in mass quantities, and I have 54 different dog breeds that will engrave and cut just like this. And then you just slide it in the truck bed. And then it's a personalized ornament. Very, very cool. I could do stuff like this with the 3D printer, of course, but it would take some time. And you wouldn't be able to get the detail. So obviously these pieces aren't glued, so some of this may fall apart when I raise it up here. But that kind of gives you an idea of what the ornament will look like. Pretty neat. Pretty dang neat. So again, this stuff is very thin, 3mm basswood. You can see how thin that is. And you're able to cut and glue these pieces together. Now, this is 2 pieces. So this is what it looked like before I painted it. And then I painted this side so that when you put the wheels and stuff on, you still have a green. Now, technically, I didn't have to paint this, but you're going to see this part, so I figured you might as well. And I could have just painted that top part and saved a little bit of paint, but it's acrylic paint. You don't have to use a whole lot. So real quick, you're going to watch me hopefully not screw this up. And we're going to just glue it. And I'm just going to dot some glue here and there. And put this cap on and drop it and align it. I'm sure there's better ways to align this stuff than what I'm doing. You can probably use clamps and all sorts of fun stuff. But I'm just trying to get it close. So there's that piece. Now we will glue the red one. And I'm sure you can use a different type of glue for this. I'm just using little drops of Gorilla Glue. And just pressing it, getting it as lined up as I can. And speaking of dogs, there's my dog, Finnegan. So then you have that piece, and then we will glue on these fenders. I want to make sure this is somewhat. The other reason I use Gorilla Glue is because it's fast drying. So that makes it kind of nice. So we'll just put a little bit of glue there. And trying not to glue my fingers to anything. My dog keeps hearing noises outside. All right. Now we'll do the wheels. I'm just very lightly putting glue on and dropping the wheels in and lining them up as best I can. Don't have to use a lot of glue, just a couple small dabs, especially with Gorilla Glue on wood, because it will set extremely fast. So there's that truck. And now we will move on to the other truck. And we will put the glue away. Let's get our fenders on first. And sorry I'm not showing this on camera, but hopefully you get the gist of what I'm doing. Here, I'll try to show it a little bit on camera. Because it's hard to line up if I can't see it. So there. And here. There you go. So now you got your trucks. And then, with any luck, this will still slip down in, which it does. and you have your dog riding in the back. Good night, Gap. Thanks for watching, buddy. I appreciate it. So we did the trucks, we did the knives, and that is both sides. So just some quick little custom laser designs. And I hope everybody kind of enjoyed that or got something out of it. If you watch it back later, leave a comment, hit that like, subscribe button. Let me know, if you like the content of this, if you like little projects like this with the laser, with the 3D printer. Speaking of 3D printer, let's check on how our little print's doing. And there it is. So it is printing. It's got 8 more minutes left on this helmet. Then I'll peel this off the plate, start the next helmet. So again, I appreciate everybody watching, everybody stopping in. If you catch this on the replay, leave a like, hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when I'm online and doing a live stream. And once we hit 200 subscribers, we will be doing a giveaway. So please tell your friends, your family, your dogs, neighbors, cats, uncles, mothers, sisters, brothers, cousins, second cousins, people you don't even know. Just tell them. Tell them to come watch. Tell them to subscribe. That way we can get 200 subscribers and you can get a chance to win the prize. So thank you all very much again for watching and dealing with me and my little setup here. I know it's not the greatest online video in the world, but I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any ideas or anything, leave them in the comments. And we will try to accommodate those ideas. If you want to see something lasered, like an ammo box or a slate coaster or something else, a dog tag, let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that bell notification button. And until next time, may the force be with you.
Utinni!